Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to Awful Taste with Great Execution, the place where, what can I say, it's just always for the things that I hope you just are sitting down for, if nothing else, because really, some of these posts can just completely knock you off your feet if you're just not ready for them. And even though I am often surprised about how creative people can be, like I said, just for all things gaudy, tacky, overdone, and otherwise tasteless. So yeah, definitely strap yourselves in, because this is going to be a weird one. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then, starting off with this is Awful Taste. Oh god, I don't even know how to react to this one. It just really makes me feel so confused, because I can obviously see that it is a guitar, but at the same time it is smoking. Really, I just tried my best to avoid all kind of smoking if I can. If someone's walking down the street and they're smoking, I hold my breath. And so really seeing something like this just makes me feel as though I just want to avoid it. Guitars are definitely cool, but when you mix it with smoking, it just makes it completely foul. Also, because I can only imagine that every single one of those butts was actually smoked. No one's going to go out of their way to create replica cigarette butts. You can just kind of pick them off the street if you really don't want to smoke them. But hey, I can only imagine that the person that is actually going to be playing something like that is definitely going to be at least involved in some sort of smoking. Maybe not every single one here is actually going to be theirs, but at the same time, especially mixing with the alcohol, I could only imagine that's some kind of beer. I mean, it's kind of impressive because it's unopened. And speaking of, I have absolutely no idea what the green beads are for. But really, let's be honest, this person certainly doesn't live a very healthy lifestyle, do they? So yeah, I guess that's exactly what the sub's for, but it just makes me feel confused about the entire thing. Like I said, guitars are cool, but when I just see this, I just can't know. Oh, it just makes me feel something really weird. And so hey, even though it is obviously great execution in terms of the shape, and I can only imagine the form is all good and everything, either way, you certainly wouldn't be catching me playing anything like that anytime soon. Spotted in a ring shaming group on Facebook. Before we actually even get to this Lego ring, which I actually personally think is quite cool, I feel as though I have to talk about the fact that there's actually such thing as a ring shaming group. I mean, I guess it's the internet, but who in their right mind has the time or even just the energy to be going around just looking and then shaming people's rings? It really just does not compute at all to me. So as well as just being completely confused that that's actually a thing, I just can't believe that a thing of beauty like this has even been included in a ring shaming group. I mean, I guess I don't know, maybe it's a little bit like Reddit where someone posts something and go, oh, what do you think about this? And then people could either shame it or I don't know what else you call it, but upvote it or downvote it. So who knows, maybe this one didn't actually do too poorly, but considering the fact that it was posted on here by someone that was in the group, they're clearly trying to say that this is awful taste. And so sadly, I can only imagine that something like this didn't go over too well with the old ring shaming group. But no, I actually kind of like it, I reckon it would have been better in silver. I'm not exactly a fan of the gold, and I reckon the silver would have added a little bit more contrast, or even just make it look a little bit less fake. But really, the overall design with the big kind of Lego piece on top, it's obviously not meant to be a wedding ring, or I guess, hey, if it is, then more power to you. But really, I just don't see it being as a wedding ring. I feel as though it's definitely more of an everyday ring than anything else. I mean, I'd certainly like to know where the actual Lego piece is made of, but I feel as though I should know it, but I just don't know if it's kind of a jade or what it really is, because it really is such a deep green. It's honestly incredible. And so really, I guess I'll say it again, but I just actually quite like it as a piece. Really, obviously, I have absolutely no idea who would actually be selling it, but I feel as though something like this is actually kind of contradictory in terms of the jewelry and everything, because I feel as though if this was suddenly sold to Pandora, suddenly it wouldn't actually be kind of a shamed thing anymore. So hey, don't worry about the haters ring, you're lovely in my eyes. This mask. Oh, strangely enough, it actually kind of makes me uneasy, but at the same time, it just kind of looks normal. I mean, I guess that's exactly what it's meant to do. And I guess this isn't the first mask we've seen of this, we saw the guy that walked into the whatever it was, a Ferrari dealership or anything, that had virtually the exact same kind of design, it was obviously his face on the mask, but then he also had the chin strap mask just like this. But really, in saying that, just every single time I see one of these, it just makes me a little bit uneasy. Just something about it just looks wrong. I mean, especially considering the sub that it's on, it's obviously been done quite well, it seamlessly kind of blends into her face, which is honestly kind of impressive. So I wonder if it actually kind of had to be done via taking a photo or something like that, because I reckon if she straightened up the nose and then somehow got rid of the top ridge that is actually in the mask, then it really would look very convincing. I mean, I guess in saying that, I don't really like the entire idea around these masks, it's meant to be kind of off-putting, or even just, I don't really know what people are going for, besides just trying to get a reaction out of people saying, put on your mask, and I am wearing a mask. And so I kind of feel as though that's the awful taste about the entire thing, because really all you're doing is just kind of slapping in the face of people that are actually wearing masks, exactly like I said, I feel as though it's just trying to get a reaction out of people, and if nothing else, just make them uneasy. And so really, in the modern times that we live in, isn't that exactly what masks are not meant to do? Cat dog hair art? Now the title's just kind of got the cat dog theme song stuck in my head, but anyway, let's actually see what they're talking about here. Whoa, hang on. Oh, it is actually a cat dog. I want to watch this star part again, because that just looks so disgusting, and I've never actually seen the bleach like that before, but look at this, here we go. My goodness, cat dog on the back of your head. Whoa, would you look at that? I didn't actually expect them to color the entire thing in. I just thought it was going to sound like a black and white image here, not that it's going to turn into the color monstrosity that we see here. My goodness, that is incredible. Honestly, I feel as though this just isn't awful taste. Cat dog is just such an icon, and yeah, I can maybe imagine that it's going to be awful taste. You put it as a tattoo on your leg, or I don't know, if you're across your forehead or something like that. But considering the fact that it's just hair and it'll eventually grow out and you won't even see the remnants of it anymore, then really, I just kind of like the fact that someone has been that bold. I mean, both in choice of what they actually did, and then also bold in color. Also, I just have to commend the kind of hair artistry. I don't even know what it's called. I mean, I guess it's hairdressing, but really, that is just incredible work. And so it definitely takes a great execution, but like I said, it just feels as though it just doesn't tick the awful taste box, I mean, I don't feel as though it's something that I would ever consider getting, but really, I reckon this person just completely rocks the look. So hey, I reckon if anyone is confident enough, or I guess out there enough to get anything like this, especially anything that color bold on their back of their head, then really more power to them. And if it is done well, then really, I just don't feel as though it can be awful taste. And really, like I said, I just don't feel as though cat dog can ever be awful taste. Custom made coffin in New Zealand. Oh my goodness, what are those crazy crazy Kiwi's doing now. Wow, that is a coffin. There is no way I would have expected that to be a coffin. I mean, I guess it makes sense why they have to have the handles on the side, but that is an incredible kind of design. I mean, I can't actually think about what the exact thing is off the top of my head, but it's kind of just a cream bundle. I don't know exactly now, but it's infuriating. But anyway, but yeah, I have absolutely no idea where you'd even go to even get something like this made. You know, are you able to approach the funeral services and go, hey, this is what I'm going to want when I had to kick the bucket or anything like that? And then they just kind of organize the entire thing from there with you in the design process? Or is there something more along the lines of, you know, if this is in America, then you just be able to walk into Walmart and buy one? Either way, it is definitely an interesting choice, and I want to know who actually made the decision, you know, because I feel as if the person that the coffin's for made the decision that that was going to actually be their coffin, then I guess it's fair enough. That's what it is. But then again, if they weren't actually involved in the decision-making process, then it's kind of a little bit of a weird one, you know, because I can't exactly see there being too many people being okay with it that is actually their coffin. So yeah, I hope there's kind of a family in-joke going on here, and the person was actually discussed the entire thing prior, and it's not the fact that the family's actually just chosen to get a laugh out of whatever coffin they choose, because let's be honest, whoever is actually making that coffin is definitely dealing in a niche market. So yeah, I feel as though this one can kind of swing two ways, you know. If they were actually involved in the decision to actually make that as their coffin, then I guess that's more power to them, you know, they actually get to choose what they want, and I certainly feel as though in this circumstance no one has the authority to tell them no. But really, like I said, if it's on the other end, this person in the family's just kind of making fun of them, or even just kind of the cause of why they're part of it, then I really don't feel as though that's going to be the best thing, and in that case it is definitely an awful taste. For the shit-kicking stenographer, a person whose job it is to transcribe speech into shorthand. I mean, there you go, now you know. But wow, now that I actually know exactly what it is definitely kind of a creation of something. I feel as though I just want it to be all the way around, so I can actually kind of get a grasp about what is going on here. I mean, I guess I can kind of look at it and know what's going on here, but really I do wish it was the other way around, just so I could get a good proper look at this just random wacky thing. To be honest though, I certainly don't see this being a real thing that has been created, you know. It definitely looks as though there's been a little bit of Photoshop involved in the entire process. So I feel as though in this case I do have to give props to the artist, because I reckon they have done pretty well to kind of find the matching key to what the tread pattern would have been. But no, like I said, I'm definitely getting some Photoshop vibes from the entire thing, and so really I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel as though something can't actually be classified as awful taste but great execution if it hasn't actually been made, you know, because people can design whatever the hell they want, especially in this case, you know, with Photoshop and all those kind of things. But really, if it doesn't even get made, then you don't really know what the execution of the entire thing is going to be, and so I just don't feel as though this one is actually awful taste but great execution, you know. Children's Easter egg. Whoa, alrighty then. Wow, there's going to be a facehugger on a rabbit. I mean, hey, I guess like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm always surprised about how creative people can be, but really, kind of like the last post, I just don't feel as though this is even awful taste, you know. This one I feel as though it is more likely that it's actually been made for whatever reason someone actually thought they wanted to make this, but I actually do feel as though this one has actually been made, and so yeah, what do you want me to say? It's a facehugger on a rabbit, but really, I just don't feel as though it is actually that bad, you know. It is obviously quite left of field, and you would certainly get a fright if you were expecting to open up a normal chocolate rabbit, but really, like I said, I just kind of like the entire idea, and it's also been quite well done, you know. There's obviously another one that's just ready to burst out and kind of grab the back of the head if that's a thing, but no, I feel as though in this case, people are just marking it as being awful taste just because they're put off by the entire kind of idea of a facehugger and all those things, not because of the actual awful taste. And so yeah, I feel as though this actually often happens when we get towards the top of the month. I just start disagreeing with the general population and just saying, you know, it's not awful taste, it is just a little bit left of field. And really, let's be honest, even though the title did say children's Easter egg, I can only imagine that it wasn't actually a children's Easter egg. There is no way they're going to know what's going on here. And really, I've never seen anything like this on shelves, so I can only imagine that it was definitely just a one-off kind of thing. Car shaped like a high heel. Once again, I just feel as though I have to disagree, because that is absolutely been incredibly done. I mean, I can't imagine they get any kind of efficiency or anything like that. But really, in terms of the fact that someone obviously had an idea and they went about and executed it, I just can't be mad at all. Honestly, the only thing I think when I actually see this is I just want to know what the two cars or however many cars were actually involved in the kind of build process. Obviously, when see there's something up here, you know, with a flip up headlights, and then that looks more of a ute tray back, and then who knows, maybe the cab was actually a different car entirely as well. Let alone the giant they actually just stole the high heel off. But really, that is an incredible kind of thing, or amalgamation of things that have come together. It kind of just reminds me of a parade float or something like that. You know, someone could be sitting up the back on top of the high heel, and then you got the driver and everything like that. Or maybe there's even a little bit of standing area where people can wave and sit down here, you know. And also, as well as being parade float, it almost looks so it could float or even just fly at that matter. Just everything about it to me just screams parade float. And I mean, I guess that would make sense as to why anyone owns it, because unless I was someone that wanted all the attention in the world, I certainly wouldn't want to be driving around that every day. And also, I guess in saying that, I have absolutely no idea who would be driving this. You know, usually when you see kind of hotted up cars, you know, like a shitty car mods, you can generally tell the kind of demographic of the person that would actually be driving the vehicle, but I just have no idea who would actually be driving this thing. So yeah, I guess all I have to say is just absolutely well done, and once again, I'm just blown away about how creative people can be. I mean, of course, something like this isn't from America, because there's no way in hell that this was actually fly in Australia. There was no way you could get that regoed. So hey, what can I say? When you call yourself the land of the free, I guess things like this just fly on an everyday basis. And so now, finally, for the top of the one for Awful Taste but Great Execution, we have Guide to Interior Designer. Give me spooky and goth, but into football and do it right. Oh no, here we go. We've got a series of images. Let's just have a look at this first one. Like the title said, it's definitely Goth between this chandelier and the coffin in the corner. I mean, it is no kind of, I don't know what to call it still, but it certainly is no dessert coffin. But here we go. Let's have a look at what else we got. These almost look like real estate photos, so they're trying to sell the house, but there is no way. Oh my goodness, it is a crypt, but there is surely no way that anyone is actually going to be buying a house like this. What else we got? Oh my goodness, it's called the cemetery out the front. There is just no way that this is actually someone's house that they live in, you know. Surely this is more along the lines of a spooky mansion, or even just one of those random Airbnbs that you can rent out. I mean, I guess it maybe explains the images as well, you know. Maybe they're not selling, maybe they're just trying to get a customer, but really, just look at this place. I mean, I guess it certainly isn't my style, but really, I just have to say about how ugly it is. Every single surface is just covered in something that it shouldn't be covered with. And it's kind of like whoever owns this place just really wanted to be the Addams Family, but just didn't fully commit to it, you know. They still have just these random leather lounges that haven't really been styled or anything like that. And I've just had the idea, but considering there's all these kind of glass mirrors, maybe it's one of those kind of love hotels that has actually been designed around a central theme. I mean, it's obviously not a hotel, but like I said, it could be an Airbnb that it kind of goes down that path. And so in that case, I just feel as though it just adds another level of awful taste to the entire situation here. Oh, just everywhere you look at it, it's just absolutely disgusting to look at. And so even though I have disagreed with the last couple of posts in terms of them being awful taste, I definitely have to agree with this one is definitely awful taste. And really, to be honest, I don't even know if I got a great execution. I mean, hey, I guess looking at that coffin, there's certainly a level of execution included in this entire thing, but really, I just don't feel as though you could call it great execution, and I guess that's why it's top of the month. But anyway, in saying that, that is going to do it for the top of the month for Awfultastic Great Execution, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the usual look at things down below. Let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now, or maybe you just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one, and see ya.